If you've seen any of my other Hydrow reviews, you will know that I've been really impressed with this machine. By far the best rowing machine that I've ever used. But it's 8 months later and 150,000 meters rowing later, has a novelty worn off. This review will be in two halves, the bits I like and also the bits I don't like. Let's start with the bits I like. If you're unfamiliar with Hydrow, previously many people have compared it to the peloton of rowing, until the peloton rower comes out, of course, if the peloton rower comes out. But like a peloton, it puts you in front of an athlete. One of the reasons why people don't row, in my opinion, and one of the reasons why I haven't rowed, I like rowing, I think there's huge benefits with rowing. Rowing isn't riveting. Please let me know if you think the same. It can get quite boring quite quickly, but putting an athlete in front of you makes a world of difference. It really does. The scenery for the rows is also, most of the time, just fantastic. Hydrow have done a really good job of picking the right athletes for the platform. So what I've found is that they've not got that kind of rah-rah, in-your-face sort of energy that can sometimes be a bit over the top. They've got this kind of polite, enthusiastic determination which gets the best out of you. And because they're all athletes, professional athletes or previously professional athletes, they're also full of like anecdotes, tips, and they make fantastic trainers when you're doing your workouts. The row itself is incredibly smooth, both on the pull and the return. If you're a professional rower, please don't criticize my technique, because it is so hard to row and talk. I don't know how people do it. The machine itself is also very quiet, so this is the noise the seat makes. And then the magnetic resistance. So it's by no means silent, and I don't think it sounds quite as good as, say, a water rower, but certainly a lot quieter, and I would say nicer sound than a fan rower. And the magnetic resistance on the Hydrow is something that I've been really impressed with. I mean, I was a bit sceptical about it, to be honest, because I think magnetic resistance can sometimes feel quite artificial. It feels like it's just artificial and not real. However, the resistance on this is superb. When you're pulling, it feels completely natural, and on the return, when it's resisting against you to coil back up, it feels really good. I know I've said this before, but out of all the rowers I've used, this feels the best. It feels better and quieter than a Concept 2 rower, and also a lot easier to make adjustments to than a water rower. This strap, they use a strap instead of a chain, and this is much nicer and quieter to use than the chain on a Concept 2. Now, I really like Concept 2 rowers, and the reason why I'm comparing this to a Concept 2 rower is because that's a rowing machine that, if you're watching this video and you haven't used a Concept 2 rower, let me know in the comments, because that's the kind of one that's in all the gyms, isn't it? Whether you're a CrossFitter or just a normal gym user, or probably in your home, Concept 2 rowers are everywhere. And to give you an idea of the difference between a Concept 2 rower and this to use, I would compare them to the BMW 3 Series. So imagine you bought a BMW 3 Series 15 years ago and you still got that car. I had a BMW 3 Series 15 years ago, and it was an exceptionally good car. A really good car, still a very good car. If I got in a 2023 BMW 3 Series, that would feel significantly different and better than the 15-year-old one, wouldn't it? And there's nothing wrong with either of them. The 15-year-old one is still brilliant, but this, the brand new one, is now. It feels great. And that's how I would describe the difference between a Concept 2 and a Hydrow. Both exceptionally good. One just feels a lot fresher, a lot newer, and aesthetically, it just looks a lot better as well, in my opinion. The hardware part of this rowing machine is just amazing. It's really well put together, and areas where I would expect to see lots of wear and tear. So underneath the foot, you can see there's just a couple of scratches there from where it moves, but it's a quality piece of equipment. The seat, everything is just really the same as when it arrived. There's only one thing I would change. Actually, I've just realised, can you see that yoga block? Now that's only there, I'll take it out for the rest of the review, but I forgot to take it out. The light lives there because of my robot vacuum cleaner. I can't program that with a keep out zone, so every time, without that there, it just gets wedged in there. But that's probably a problem just for me, not anyone else. There's only one thing about this hardware that I would change, which I'll talk about in a moment. One thing that's really impressive about the Hydrow is just how intuitive it is. So once you come into the log on screen, it recommends a row for you. And 90% of the time, this is the row that I would do anyway. This is the row that I wanted to do, whether I knew it or not. But on the other 10%, you've got other rows here. So you've got the live rows. I'm in the UK, so quite often they're later in the day for me, and I'd work out in the morning. It's got a featured row. You've got all your athletes there that you can choose from, and then you've got popular rows here. I generally stick to the 20-minute rows because that feels like enough for me. And then you've also got some getting started rows there. If you want to go through the library, you can just select rows by time, a specific athlete, a workout type, a workout style, or a location. Now, one of the machines that I have in here, I'm not going to say which one, but it has a real problem connecting my heart rate monitor. I use my Apple Watch, and also my headphones to it. But what I've loved about the Hydrow is that it's been absolutely rock solid. So one of the machines here can take up to 10 minutes to get both the heart rate monitor and my headphones connected. Sometimes I have to reset the headphones. In the 8 months I've been using this, there's just never been an issue. I've not had one instance where my headphones haven't connected properly or my heart rate hasn't connected properly, heart rate monitor. It's been rock solid. The next thing I like about Hydrow is that it's a full body workout. So if time is short, then you're going to get a lot done with not only your muscles, but your cardiovascular system in quite a short period of time. Since I've been using the Hydrow, I've stopped training my back altogether, and it feels as strong as it's ever felt, just through the actions of rowing and that pulling motion. And unlike many other cardio forms of workout, it actually links the top of your body to the bottom of your body really, really well. This is exceptionally good for your core strength. And that makes Hydrow such a time efficient way to work out. So I mean, I like working out. So sometimes if I'm doing other cardio, I might do 25, 30 minutes of weights, and then I might do half an hour of something else, like cycling, for instance. So that's an hour for a workout, and that's fine for me. I like it. But if I'm short on time, you can get a really good workout here within about 20 minutes. And by that, I mean, if you do it before your morning shower, that it only adds a 20-minute workout, adds like 21, 22 minutes to your day by the time you put your kit on. And you've got a good cardiovascular workout as well as a good muscular workout. If you really wanted to, you could throw in some push-ups at the end just for the push muscles, like your chest and your triceps, for instance, which rowing doesn't do. It does all the pull muscles, all your core, 85, 86% of your muscles. It is a really time-efficient way to work out. The other thing that Hydrow do really well is they constantly innovate. So as well as the river rows that you've seen already, they also do open water rows. And one of my favourite rows of all time is this, because I'm a Londoner and it's on the Thames. But this is actually a race, and you're in one of the boats, you're part of the team, and they're racing along the Thames. And I feel like I was actually instrumental in the win. And intellectually, like, I know that if I just watched it and didn't row, then the team I was in would have won. But I don't know, you're looking at the face of a middle-aged man, but I've got the mind of a child. I was really going for it. And I don't want to spoil the race for you, but we just got them on the finish line. It was excellent. In previous rows, I talked about the lack of a pause button. However, look at that. There it is. Hydrow implemented it, so if there's someone at the front door or your kids are there, you can just pause your workouts. They've also implemented a just row feature, which wasn't there before, so if you want to get on and row without an instructor, then that's there as well. And lastly, before I move on to the things that I don't like about the Hydrow, if you're new to rowing, or actually more importantly, if you're self-taught like I was, so you've been rowing for a while, but no one ever taught you, you just kind of went with what felt good. And then your back hurt. What Hydrow do is they offer a coaching service. So when my Hydrow arrived, I booked a rowing session, a live video call with a lady called Maggie, who was exceptional. She looked at me rowing, she talked about some drills I could do to improve my technique, and it really, really helped me with my rowing. And I could have booked further sessions with Maggie, but I felt like I kind of got the hang of it after the first session. And I think that's a really nice feature. Sometimes these are free and sometimes they're paid for, I think, but they're inexpensive. But yeah, just book yourself a live rowing session with a Hydrow rowing coach and get your technique right from the offset. Now, as you can tell, I really like my Hydrow. It has really been a game changer for my health and fitness. If you do decide to buy a Hydrow or the new Hydrow Wave, and if Hydrow is available where you are, but the Wave isn't, it's coming, it'll be there in a few months. But if you want to buy a Hydrow or a Hydrow Wave, then I'll put a link in the description which will not only take you to the best price on the Hydrow website, it will also help support the channel, so thanks. Now there are some things that I don't like, so let me show you them. So the first thing is the cool down row. So when you do a row, it recommends that you do a cool down row afterwards. Now why do you watch YouTube videos or pick workouts? It's quite often the thumbnail. They use the same thumbnail for every single cool down workout, but you can see that that's not the same person who was in that thumbnail. Now, I know that's a small thing, and it might seem like a small thing, but I think they should just have the thumbnail for the actual workout and not this one generic thumbnail for their cool downs. It makes it look like it's something that they don't really care about, I think. The other thing is that you can't skip the introduction. So when you put a workout on, there's an introduction at the start. So in most cases, this is a good time to get your form right and just to get into the workout. However, a lot of the time I'm ready to go, I'm good to go, but there's actually no way to get rid of this introduction. It's only 1 minute long, but I'd like to just tap it away if I could. The other thing is that the Hydrow is big and heavy, which is not a bad thing if you've got a dedicated place for it. However, if you're looking to move it, I mean, it would be difficult to move this machine. It's quite heavy. With a Concept 2, for instance, you can fold that in half and it would fit in the back of a medium-sized hatchback. With this, I suspect you're going to need a van to move it. So if you'll need something that's kind of portable, then the Hydrow is probably a bit too heavy and the Hydrow Wave might be a better option for you. You can, however, press that button there and then the screen will come down and then you can actually stand the Hydrow up and it will stand up against the wall. They recommend a strap. So you can put it away, but I wouldn't want to be doing it every day. One thing Hydrow do really well is their outdoor workouts, such as strength, mobility, yoga and Pilates, like this one. They're really, really good. And the Hydrow screen is the perfect height for yoga workouts or floor workouts like this. However, the screen does swivel, but the maximum it swivels to is here, which means to be in front of the screen, you're kind of still on the machine, it's in the way. So where I would like to be for a strength workout or a yoga workout is more of an angle to the screen, to the rower, and the screen just doesn't swivel quite enough to put you there. You can just get around that though by casting to a television like I've done here. I'm using an iPhone that's just tucked down there and it's casting via Apple TV, just the television. Probably my biggest annoyance with the Hydrow is the volume controls. So they're neatly placed on the side there, you can just see them. But if I want to turn the volume up, it brings up a whole menu. All I want to see, I'll just put it up again, put it down again. All I want to see is a little volume bar, but it brings up this whole mixing menu. So it brings up whether you want more music, original music, MyFlix, etc., closed captions, whether you want to connect your Bluetooth devices or adjust the resistance. If I just want to adjust the volume, I just want to adjust the volume. They could have the volume there, maybe a little drop down arrow for the rest of the things. Apart from that swivel screen, I think everything can be fixed with a software update. And as a piece of fitness equipment, I mean, I would give Hydrow a 10 out of 10. If I'm short on time and I need to get cardio in and strength work, I don't think there's a better bang for your buck than jumping on something like a Hydrow. See you next time.